on the ground.
Розбили. Ми відходили, відійшли. І багато з пацанів вже ніхто не хотів на передок вертатися. І так, якось так. А комбат почав збирати ще, там хто лишився, щоб ще раз відправити. Багато не хотіло йти, і то стало так, як підштовхом, що жити хотіли всі тоді. Молоді хлопці, не дуже обстріляні були такі, всі села, всі такі трудяги.
Okay, that is, let's unpack a little bit of what he's talking about there. Now, first, just on the surface of it, you can see he's basically shell-shocked. You can see that he's almost just monotone, just droning out his words, that there's this 1,000-mile stare in his face. And you can imagine before the war, he was probably a vivacious, fun-loving guy, family man, possibly. I mean, you can see that there is something really changed. Even if you don't know anything about this guy or never seen him before, you can tell something is desperately wrong here. So that tells you a lot about what he has physically seen and experienced. Secondly, he's talking in that clip there about the fact that they were untrained. Now, how many times have you seen the official statements from General Syrskyi et al., Zelensky, and all these other leaders in Ukraine, and many even in the U.S. Department of Defense, who claim these guys are well trained. We bring them up. We give them this amount of training, NATO training. Sometimes they're trained in NATO countries and they go back. And yet report after report, and now out of the mouth of a Ukrainian fighter himself, re-emphasizes a consistent pattern that they aren't trained, that they're literally minimally trained. Here's a weapon. There's a target. Pull off some rounds. All right, you're good to go. Move on to the front. We'll train you at the front, is how they end up saying. Well, what that means is we'll throw you into the meat grinder and see if you survive. But you see in that word there, and that's another potential indicator. This isn't one person that's talking, so you can't make calculations across the entirety of the somewhere around 300,000 Ukraine troops on the front line. You can't make generalizations based on one, but you can say there's some reason to think that he's not the only one that's saying, okay, it came down to when we're going to withdraw, we chose life. Because again, this gets right back to what I mentioned a minute ago about why are anybody, soldiers from any country, going to sacrifice their lives for something that cannot be won. And now then you see that for sure that the end is already being negotiated, that your patron is already talking to the leader of your opponent country, the Russians, about what kind of deals are we going to do. So there's no more, you're not fighting for your country anymore. You're not